Have you ever felt like the world has given up on you? Like you're trapped in a situation with no way out? Today, I want to tell you a story about a little girl who lived in a world of complete darkness and silence, but who showed everyone that the human spirit can shine brighter than any obstacle. This is the incredible, true story of Helen Keller. Back in 1880, in a small town in Alabama, a happy, healthy baby girl named Helen was born. She laughed, she played, and she filled her family's life with joy. But when she was just 19 months old, a mysterious illness struck. The doctors didn't know what it was, but after she recovered, her life was changed forever. The sickness had taken away her sight and her hearing. Helen Keller was now blind and deaf. Imagine that, waking up one day to a world with no light, no colors, no faces, and at the same time, hearing nothing. No voices, no birds singing, no music. That was Helen's new reality. She couldn't understand what was happening. She couldn't tell her mother she was hungry or scared. Confusion turned into frustration, and frustration turned into anger. She would cry, break things, and push people away. She was a little girl lost in a world she could no longer connect with. People around her didn't understand her pain. Some neighbors, and even family friends, whispered that she was useless and could never live a normal life. They saw a wild, uncontrollable child. The world, it seemed, had already decided her fate. But her family, especially her mother, refused to give up. Her mother held on to one powerful belief. My daughter is not broken. She just needs help. Their desperate search for hope led them to a teacher who would change everything. Her name was Anne Sullivan. When Anne arrived at the Keller home, Helen was 7 years old. Anne herself knew about struggle. She had been nearly blind as a child. She didn't see a hopeless case. She saw a brilliant mind trapped inside a prison of darkness and silence. Anne's mission was to find the key. She started by trying to teach Helen language, spelling words into her hand. She'd give Helen a doll and spell DOL. But Helen didn't understand. She fought back, threw tantrums, and resisted every lesson. Days turned into weeks, with no progress. It seemed hopeless. But Anne Sullivan was not a person who gave up. Then came the moment that would change history. One afternoon, Anne led Helen to the water pump outside, as cool water gushed from the pump onto one of Helen's hands. Anne took her other hand and spelled the word WATR. Over and over again, WR. Suddenly, something clicked inside Helen's mind. She stood completely still. A look of shock, then pure understanding, washed over her face. For the first time, she realized that this cool, wet liquid had a name. Everything had a name. The ground beneath her feet, the pump, even her teacher. That single moment was like a key, turning a lock that had been rusted shut for years. Helen's mind was finally free. She dropped to the ground, touching the earth, demanding to know its name. She ran from one object to another, her hands outstretched, hungry for words. The darkness and silence were still there, but now, her world was filled with meaning. From that day forward, Helen's thirst for knowledge was unstoppable. She learned thousands of words. She learned to read books using Braille, a system of raised dots for the blind. She learned to write, and then she decided to do something almost unthinkable. She learned to speak. By placing her fingers on people's lips and throats, she could feel the vibrations of their words and learn to imitate the sounds. Her speech was never perfect, but she didn't care. She had found her voice, and she was determined to use it. The very people who had once called her useless now watched in astonishment as she read books and communicated her thoughts. But Helen had a dream that seemed even more impossible. She wanted to go to college. Once again, people scoffed. A blind and deaf girl in college, it's impossible. But Helen's spirit was stronger than their doubts. With her teacher, and always by her side, translating lectures into her hand, Helen studied relentlessly. She worked harder than any other student, and in 1904, she did it. Helen Keller graduated from Radcliffe College, becoming the first blind and deaf person in the world to earn a university degree. The world that had laughed at her was now silent with awe. But graduating was just the beginning. Helen didn't just want to live a quiet life. She wanted to change the world. She became a world-famous author, writing books about her life, her struggles, and her unwavering hope, she became a powerful public speaker. Traveling across the globe, she advocated for the rights of people with disabilities, for women's suffrage, and for the poor and marginalized. The little girl who the world had written off met with presidents, kings, and world leaders. The world that once refused to see her now couldn't stop listening to her. Helen Keller left us with a powerful message. Say, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Her story proves that the real limits we face are not the ones in our circumstances, but the ones in our minds. She showed us that even in the deepest silence, a powerful voice can emerge, that in the darkest night, a brilliant light can shine. She taught us that our greatest weaknesses can become our greatest strengths. So the next time you feel like the odds are stacked against you, remember Helen Keller. Remember that when your belief in yourself is strong and your effort is relentless, even the impossible can become possible. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. See you in the next video.